Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to start out by asking Ms. Gilligan about a bilateral with the EU. I understand there's important revisions to the technical implementation procedures of this bilateral that are pending. It's my understanding this will help improve the validation process surrounding aviation products. When do you think that these revisions will be adopted?
Congressman, Ms. Baker actually negotiated those revisions, so I'll ask her to respond to you.
Thank you.
Hi, you're probably familiar with our validation improvement roadmap, and we are working through that to rely more heavily upon each other, and in some cases fully on each other. The latest revisions, we had gone forward to try to take a pretty aggressive approach and had to take a bit of a step back so that we could think through some of the things that we wanted to do that were much more ambitious. So we're going to be issuing what we call a TIP Rev 5A in the near term, in the next few weeks. And then we'll, by the end of March, issue a TIP Rev 6. And in those, what we're trying to do is, again, rely more heavily upon each other, avoid the redundant work, and as we move forward past what was very basic, complex modifications to aircraft, we're going to be starting incorporating full reliance on each other for things like engines and propellers, and then later small airplanes.
I think there's something very important that gets done as quickly as possible, because it would be very, very helpful to the American aviation industry. I want to check with the chairman. I think the clock didn't restart at the beginning of my question time, because I don't think I'm that far along. So I just want to check make sure that was the case. Okay. I won't take another full 5 minutes, don't worry. Thank you. The FAA's Continuous Lower Energy Emissions and Noise Program, also known as the CLEAN program, is a government industry research partnership which has leveraged millions of dollars of private money to develop and demonstrate certifiable aircraft technologies that are at high states of technology readiness. This program has worked very well in terms of helping to actually produce aircraft that have lower noise, greater efficiency. So I know that both Boeing and Pratt Whitney have been participants in the CLEAN program. I know Dr. Epstein had mentioned it in his testimony. So Dr. Epstein and also Mr. Hamilton, can you speak about how these investments can serve as a catalyst for acceleration of new technology and its impact on American competitiveness in aviation manufacturing? So Dr. Epstein?
Yeah. These get to the heart of the competitiveness of our products. Airlines buy aircraft because of their fuel efficiency. Communities welcome aircraft because of the lack of noise. And these were both focuses of the program. Many of these technologies are just entering service now. And I see that the output from the Clean One program, which is just finishing up, will probably be in the next new airplane that will enter service in the next decade. And in fact, as we speak, we're running an engine down in West Palm Beach demonstrating very low noise capabilities and very high efficiency of new types of turbofan engines. So we put up a lot of money for part of this program. So I think it's a great example of the catalytic effect that a relatively small federal investment can make on this industry. And the FAA investment is focused on the relatively near term, which for us is 8 to 10 years, which is what it takes to prove a technology and then develop a product from it.
Thank you. Mr. Hamilton, you want to add anything to that?
I would agree that I think it's a great partnership with industry and the government in terms of really promoting new technologies. We have flown an eco-demonstrator roughly every year to go prove out these technologies. and it allows us to accelerate the incorporation of those into new products. So similar, the Europeans have a very similar type investment plan over there, and I think this is a good project.
Well, this program has to be reauthorized, and I'm hopeful that it's something that we'll be able to do in the FAA reauthorization or on its own. But I think it's something that's been very helpful to the American aviation industry, help the competitiveness, and so I think this is something we need to continue. So with that, I'll yield back. Thank you.
Mr. Duncan.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and